Hello there, Marvel fans. Agent of Enough Said, Phil Parrish here. Ready to hear some spoiler-filled reviews of the best of Marvel for the week of November 26th, 2014? Let's do it! First up is Superior Iron Man number 2, with more fun and games with the inverted, dark Tony Stark. First, we see the scene of Daredevil confronting Tony Stark from the last issue of Axis. After Daredevil hits the water and swims to safety, we see Tony return to his new home built on Alcatraz Island. Tony announces that he'll be giving away free time on the Extremis app the next day to anyone who is within 50 feet of him, so of course a large crowd shows up. One of the assembled group blames Tony for ruining his son's life and attempts to shoot Tony point blank in the face. This is where we discover that Tony is wearing a transparent graphene faceplate. Next we see Daredevil kidnap Tony, take him underground, and hit him with an electromagnetic pulse, hoping to keep him separated from his armor. But what Tony explains to him is that since the armor is part symbiotic, it's alive, and can feel Tony wherever he goes. Tony then hits him with what looks like an electrical charge. When Daredevil wakes up, he discovers it must have been Extremis that Tony hit him with, because now, Daredevil can see. Next we get a double dose of Spider-Verse this week. First, in Scarlet Spiders number 1, we see Ben Reilly, Kane, and the Ultimate Universe Jessica Drew, who is the female clone of Peter Parker, enter an alternate universe filled with clones. The entire city, if not more, seems to be run by someone or something called Genix. The spiders make it past that universe's Tony Stark to make it to the Baxter building to run into a militaristic-looking Johnny Storm. And in Spider-Man 2099 number 6, we see Miguel O'Hara return to his home year of 2099 along with the Six-Armed Spider-Man and Lady Spider. They start looking for help to defeat the Inheritors, but it isn't too long before the Inheritor Deimos confronts them. Deimos kills the Six-Armed Spider-Man before the other two can lure him to Alchemax, where Miguel manages to imprison him in a stasis field that had held Venom 2099 before. New Avengers 27 continues the Dying Universes saga. We see a team of Avengers attacking the Black Priests, dwelling in the empty space that several destroyed universes had previously occupied. We see Thor lifting a version of his hammer. Since he is unworthy to lift the real Mjolnir, we see him using the version that was left behind by the Thor of the evil universe that had come within an alternate Avengers team several months ago. One of the Black Priests unmasked to reveal himself to be Doctor Strange. We also see Doctor Doom and a seemingly insane Molecule Man attempting to also undo the multiversal destruction before the Molecule Man zaps them both away, who knows where. Finally, we see Doctor Strange telling the Avengers that he and the Black Priests have destroyed several alternate Earths to save those alternate universes, and he tells them the only hope they have of stopping it all is to kill the Black Priest's enemies, Rubum Alal and the Ivory Kings. If you've been listening to my reviews for the last few weeks, you know the theme that has been going with this storyline. The cover says, in 5 months, time runs out. In Amazing X-Men 13, we see a young mutant named Andal attempt to have a successful blind date before he is ambushed by the now stronger Regan Wingard, one of the illusion-casting daughters of Jason Wingard, aka Mastermind. The boy is ready to give into the despair that Regan is projecting until Nightcrawler and Northstar come to his rescue. Wolverine and the X-Men 12 is not only an Axis tie-in, but also the last issue of the series, since Wolverine is dead. We see an inverted, very quiet and thoughtful Quentin Quire getting thrown out of the Hellfire Club after being sabotaged and physically beaten by an inverted Storm. Quick note, I believe I said last issue was the last issue. This one definitely is the last issue because it says so on the cover. And finally, Nova 24 is another Axis tie-in. We see Sam Alexander, aka Nova, leaving the French hospital he woke up in at the end of last issue. Sam believes his cracked Nova helmet is working fine until he falls from the sky, only jump-starting his powers enough to survive the fall. Next, the inverted Hulk is still tearing up Arizona until Sam arrives and wraps him in cable from a nearby bridge just long enough to pull the Hulk into orbit. Sam's power cuts out again at the edge of the atmosphere, and he once again jump-starts his powers to survive his crash landing. Battered and bruised with a broken arm, we see from the last page or two that soon Sam is going to get a visit from one of the inverted villains, carnage. Well, that's it for this week. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Did you all sit down and give thanks for all you were thankful for? Like your favorite Southgate Media Group podcasts? Especially that one, what is it? Oh yeah, Nuff Said.